And hello everyone, and welcome to Learn a Trade. This is Kevin, and today I'm on my way to a service call on a Bunn dual DBC coffee brewer. I was out here yesterday on this service call, and I found that the brewer would not it would accept the calibration numbers that are put in, but there's been a couple of service techs out there that have recalibrated this brewer over and over, and it keeps overflowing on them. So when I went out there yesterday, I checked it out, and I found that the brewer actually has the wrong control board in it. It's not programmed for specifically for a 7-Eleven, so that's part of the issue. And what's happening is that the board is good, but it's programmed for another recipe. So in these programs, I'm going to try to show you when I get to the site and I go through it. I'm going to change out the board, and I'm going to try to show you how to go into the service menu and where to go for the calibration of the machine, and then we'll calibrate it. But I want to show you that on the original board that's in there right now, that board, you can calibrate it, but it's preset for small batch, a medium batch, and a large batch. Now at this particular 7-Eleven, they only have a medium batch and a large batch. So you need to be able to just calibrate those two levels, those two batches. But with this board that's in there right now, it's pre-programmed for 3 batches. So it will not allow you to change those numbers. Even if you go through doing a recalibration, it will still calculate for a small batch of 32 ounces, a medium batch of 128 ounces, and a large batch for 198 ounces. So in this case, no matter how much you calibrate it, it's going to still go with the formula that it's programmed with. So it'll still overflow. I'll show it to you once I get to the site and go through it. But I wanted to explain to you the situation with this call. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put I was able to order the new board, and I'm going to go ahead and replace the board, go into the calibration. I'm going to show you the recipe menu so that you can see the recipe menu. And I will also try to see if I could show you what the recipe menu looks like on the board that's in there now, and then show you the difference. So we'll see once I get there, and then we'll be able to walk through it. All right, so stand by, and then we'll start changing out that board and go into the service menu. Okay, so here we go. This is the Bunn dual DBC unit. Right now, looking at the display screen, I'm going to go into the menu. Now you want to press and hold this hidden button right on the R. So you want to press and hold that hidden button. You'll see it go to blue lockout, and when it goes to set language, now you can scroll through the menu. Okay, this is your units, going to be measured either in metric or English. So we always choose English. Get your enable energy saving. We don't have that on right now. And set menu. Okay, you could set a menu in there. In order, the thing is with this board, like I was saying, this is not a specifically for 7-Eleven. So if you go into this right now, it's gonna require you to connect the machine to a coffee grinder and then grind the coffee. So this is more so set up for like a Dunkin' Donuts or a Starbucks, that use coffee grinders with their in combination with their coffee brewer. So we'll move on from there. Now, what I wanted to show you in this is the review recipes. Review recipe. If you go into that, I'm going to show you how this is set up. See, it says no name on the left. So that's meaning it's a no name recipe, and it's for this left side right here. This left side has two functions, as a medium and then a large. Okay. Now this one is set up differently. I'm going to go to show, and then it's going to show me, what the recipe is set up for. So I hit it. It's going to say small batch right now is off. The medium batch is 128 ounces. The large batch is 192 ounces. And then it's going to the bypass for the small batch, medium, and large. And see, we can't change any of that. That's all programmed in there. So because this is not specifically for the 7-Eleven recipe. And it has the pulse brew is disabled. Then it has the drip time, 1 minute, a minute and a half, and then 2 minutes for a large batch. And then it ends, but it goes through the whole process of letting you know what that menu is set up for, what that recipe is set up for. So we don't want that right now. We're going to go out of that. And then assign recipe. This is where you would say if it had like 2 or 3 different recipes, you would be able to set up, assign the recipe to each side, the left and the right. Now, with this, with the 7-Eleven brand, they usually use the no-name recipe. But like I said, this is not specific. This board is not programmed specifically for 7-Eleven, so the no-name program is totally different. So that's why this board has to be replaced. The board is still good, but we're going to have to replace it. And see, I'm going to go on. You keep scrolling through, it'll go to your set temp, which should be set for 205. I'll adjust that when I put the new board in. The ready temp is 195, so when it hits 195, that's when it'll say ready, and then you can brew at that point. Then it goes through your refill percentages, and this is your spray head count. And now with this, since this was the old board and it wasn't programmed for the 7-Eleven, in order for the customer to use it without it overflowing each time they brewed a pot of coffee, I had to adjust the spray head ounces on both sides. I had to adjust them way up. That number is way high than it should be. It should be more like around 30, between 34 to 36, something like that, ounces. But I have it all the way up to 152, and I had to do that just so that they would be able to brew a large batch and a small batch on here. Okay, so in order for them to hit this and hit each one and then allow it to brew without it overflowing, that's what I had to set it for. So when I put the new machine in, I'm gonna redo that. And just to let you know, I just noticed this times out also. I just wanted to let you know that it does time out. So if you don't hit something within a matter of seconds or so, it will time out on you. See the bypass? Excuse me, I left the bypass at 26 on both sides. Also on this, you got your hidden button here where you could scroll through, but you also have another hidden button right above the B right here, right on the side of the B, where you can go back. You can backtrack and go back to certain settings that you want to check out. So I'm just going to keep pressing, and right here is where I'm going to go on the new board and adjust the calibration, calibrate both sides. So now I'm just going to scroll through until I get out of the menu. Now I'm out, and then it's going to go back to ready to brew. When it gets back to ready to brew, you have your on-off switches right here for both sides. You have your brew switch for both sides, and you have your levels here, so you could hit the large level and the LED will light, the medium will light. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this set up and pull the top. I'm going to pull this top off. Pull this off over here. I'm going to slide it back some, and then I'm going to go ahead and replace that board, and then we'll get it set back up to go ahead and see if we can calibrate. And then always remember, you want to make sure you shut your power down. Okay, shut it down by the power switch, which is down in the middle. Yeah, power switch is right under here. Okay, so it's right under this front leg, right underneath. You can cut it on, cut it off right there. That's the main power switch. But I also am going to go and unplug this machine. You always want to make sure before you work on this stuff that you have it powered down and unplugged. Okay, so right here, this is the board that I'm going to be removing right here. See if I can give you a closer look there. A little off. Yeah, I'll have to pull it back some. Let's see. Okay, yeah, this is the board that I'll be removing. I usually start by removing the display ribbon. This is the ribbon cable for the display, the touchpad, and I just set that to the side. And usually what I'll do is I'll loosen the screws here. I'll loosen the nuts. There's 2 nuts up top here. I'll remove those, and then usually I can pull this right up and out. So just give me a moment. I'll get this removed, and then we'll put that new board in. I just want to see if I can show you here. This is the part number for this new board. And as you can see, like, look right up here, it's a dual TF 120 volt and then it says 7-Eleven. So see right there, specifically for 7-Eleven. So you may have a board that has the same number, but if it doesn't say 7-Eleven, then it may not work on their particular coffee brewer for their recipe. Okay, so just keep that in mind with the part numbers. You want to make sure if it's for 7-Eleven that it says that part number and that it's labeled 7-Eleven. Okay, I have the new board in place. I'm just tightening down the two nuts up top. Okay, those two nuts are tightened up. So it was a little bit off there, but this is the new board right here. This is the old board. I'm just going wire for wire, pulling these wires off, attach them to the new board. These wires here are for the, give me a second here. These wires here are for the sensors. These are for those funnel sensors for each side. And I have this connection right here to make, and then this will be the new board installed, and we can turn power back on and check it out from there. So I have everything connected now. I'm going to go ahead and connect my ribbon cable for the display, the touch screen, or touch pad rather. Okay, and I don't know if you can see it, but let me see if I can get you a little closer in there. Right here, that's the program switch. Okay, it has a little toggle, little white switch that you can push either left or right. And if you go to the left, that's enabling you to be able to go into the menu. If you go to the right, I'm sorry, I'm a little backwards here, but if you go to the left, if you're facing it and you push the button to the left, then that's disabling the menu, so you won't be able to go into the menu. But if you push it to your right, if you're standing in front of it and you push it to your right, you're going to be enabling it to go into the menu. So we usually like to leave it here in this position in case another technician comes to work on it, then they can go right into the menu without having to take the top off and then flip the switch. So it's just a common practice. Most technicians leave it on, but there are some cases where if you have people that try to work on this equipment, then you know that aren't really experienced with it, you might want to go ahead and put it to your left so it's off when you leave the location, just so that no one can go into the program and mess anything up. Just give me a second and we'll go ahead and excuse me, we'll go ahead and get this started up and then go into the program. Okay, we're back now. Got power back on. Gonna go ahead and turn the machine back on now. And right now the unit is restoring all of the defaults. And I'm gonna let that go for a little bit, and then till it finishes, and then we could start getting into the program. See how it does. Yeah, hopefully all of you that are interested in learning more about these coffee brewers and stuff, and down in the description of this video I'm gonna put I have a playlist that is all coffee equipment repairs, so you could click on that playlist and you could check out the whole playlist of coffee equipment repairs and stuff like that, because I have a lot of these unit Bunn repairs in there, Bunn DBC units and stuff like that, so you'll be able to take a look at all of those. Right now it's still heating up, so I'm going to let it go ahead and complete its heating process. I want to be sure that all clicks in good. And the power's coming on, so now we got it ready to brew. So we're at 195 right now, and then it's going to heat up to about 200 or so. But right now I'm going to go ahead and go into the menu. Okay, so you see brew lockout, keep holding it and then let go when you see units. Then you can scroll through. And now what I want to do is I want to review the recipe. I just want to see if it, make sure it doesn't have the same small batch, medium batch, okay, so small batch and medium batch. So I guess what that's looking at is it doesn't have the 3 batches. It's got a small batch and a medium batch. So let's go ahead and, so that looks good so far, okay? So I'm gonna go in, I'm not gonna change anything on this section right here. And I'm gonna check the right side now. See how I hit next, and then now it's on the right side. So I just wanna see, it's got that small batch for 64 ounces, medium batch for 128. So it's going to calculate with those numbers, okay? The bypass is set on the medium. I'm going to let all of these settings stay right now, and then I'm going to, once this completes, I'm going to go into the calibration, then we'll calibrate it. Okay. So now, let me see if it has that recipe assigned. So we went into assigned, no name, that's the one that we want. So we'll hit yes or done. Okay, so that's done. The recipe is assigned. I'm gonna go on, see there, see the set temp? So it's automatically set for 205, so that's perfect. That's where you want it to stay. And then the ready temp is set for 195, so that's good. Now I'm looking at the spray head level. This is saying 43 ounces. The right side is saying 43.4. The left side bypass is saying 48.2. Right side bypass is saying 47.1. Now these are all programmed from right from the factory. So now I'm in calibrate flow. I'm going to go ahead and start the calibration. I'm going to hit yes. And spray head calibration, yes. It's asking, is the container ready? Yes. And then it tells you to go ahead and press the brew button. So now I'm going to start on my left side. It doesn't matter which side you start on. You just hit the brew button for whichever side you want to start on. So now I'm going ahead, I'm brewing into my measuring cup. And then this will allow me to see what the measurements are. See up here, it's going to it gives a 60-second sample. So it counts down, and then when it's done, then wherever that lands right there, that's going to be what I adjusted for. It's at 14 seconds right now, so just let it finish its cycle, and then we'll see where it's at. Okay, so that looks more like around, I'd say that's closer to 38. That's close to 38. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, see there? So that's around 38. So let's go back up top, and we will adjust that. Okay, so I got that that's at 43.7. Gonna go down to 38. I just usually press and hold till I get close to the number. Okay, so 38. I'm gonna go 38.0. Hit the middle button to save it. And now that's the new spray head count right there, okay? So now I'm gonna do the same thing. Let me pour this bucket out. And then we're gonna hit yes for calibrate. We already did calibrate the spray head, so we're gonna say no on that. And now we wanna calibrate the bypass. So yes on bypass, and then yes on container ready. And then we can go ahead and hit the brew. You can see it counting down there, so I'm just letting it count down, and then I'll measure it up, and then we should be able to go from there. Okay, so that's reading 48, 42, 44. That's more at 44, so I'm going to bring that down to 44 on the bypass. like I said, these are pre-programmed for these levels, so that's why you have to do your own calibration on these machines when you install them, or when you're changing out a board or something like that. And also during PMs too, you want to do that. So right now I'm going to go ahead and do the right side now. We already did the left. I'm going to do the right now. So yes for calibrate, yes for spray head, yes for container ready, and now I hit the blue button. Go ahead and let that brew, let that cycle go, and at that point, after this, I'm gonna do 2 pots. I'm gonna do 2 or 3 test brew cycles, and then make sure, just to make sure that I'm getting the right level for the small and for the medium. On the machine and the recipe, it calls it small and medium, but for 7-Eleven employees, they consider this medium and large. Okay, so just to make it clear, like the program is set for a small and medium, but 7-Eleven terms, they call this medium and large. Okay, so that's done. It's reading 43. I'm at about 84, 36. I'm at about 36 on that. Okay, so I'm gonna leave that at 36. Dump my container, and then now we're gonna go ahead and brew some test pots. Okay, let me just show you these are the servers that they use. Okay, these are those servers right here. Okay, they just sit right under the base there, right under the funnel. And this is your sight glass. You might not be able to see it too good, but right here, see that indentation right on both sides? That's to show you the medium level. And then this other indentation right here down below, right there, that's to show you the small level. So this is your medium, this is your large level. So we want to try to get right up around there. All right, so now we're ready to brew. I'm gonna start with the large on this side. But you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go ahead and do 2 of them at the same time, because especially in the mornings, that's the way they do it anyway. So I want to do it just as they would do it. So I got 2 servers ready to go. I'm gonna go ahead and hit the large level on both of them, and then go ahead and brew. Okay, and then let me show you this here too, because it has there's timers on it. Tells you the brew time. So you see there, see the arrows pointing to the left? That's telling me the time there. The arrow pointing to the right is telling me the time. So here is 2:25 to the right. Here is 2:12 to the left. So you can see the arrows switch and they go back and forth. So we're gonna go ahead and let that brew. I just wanna see what levels I'm gonna get with those calibrations that I did. And then we'll be able to tell from there if our board is working properly. And just in case, I always put a little, I put my container underneath this nozzle just in case it starts overflowing. Then I can just open it up and let it pour into there. Just a little thing I do, just so I don't get water all over the place if it does leak, if it does overflow, you know. So right now we're just under a minute on both sides. We're right up around that level right now. So let's see how it looks. Okay. So right here I'm a little over that notch area, but I'm not too worried about it. I might see the notches right here. My water level ended right here, and the coffee is going to soak up because I'm not using coffee, so the coffee would soak up probably to down about here. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and empty these out. I'm going to do another calibration just to you know, check it again, because that was the first one from it being down. But we should be good. I'm just going to get it set up to do another calibration in a few minutes. Okay, I recalibrated, and the levels were pretty much the same on both sides. So right now I have some coffee set up. I'm gonna go ahead and try to brew a pot with just coffee. I'm just letting the unit heat up. It's heating back up now, and once it's ready to go, I'll start a batch of coffee and check out the levels there. Okay, so as you can see, I just finished the brew cycle. It went into the drip mode. Okay, so right there, you can see that level's going to be perfect because it's still dropping. So that level is going to be within that range. And it's like that on both sides. So we're looking good here, everyone. I hope this helps. This is all I have for this one. And again, this was a board replacement on a Bunn dual DBC. And to watch more videos on coffee brewer repairs, just click the link down in the description. Take care, everybody. Thank you for watching.